So as we say in Aggie Land, howdy, and welcome to the virtual information session for the online graduate certificate in Homeland Security at the Bush School of Government and Public Service at Texas A&M University. My name is Sarah. I am our Student Services Program Coordinator for the Office of Extended Education, and I'm going to be one of your presenters today. Our other presenter will be Dr. Danny Davis, the Director of the Graduate Certificate in Homeland Security. Dr. Davis, can you say howdy?
Howdy, good to be with y'all.
Thank you. You'll be hearing more from Dr. Davis in just a couple minutes. As I mentioned, if you have any questions during the presentation, please drop them in the chat and we'll run through them at the end of the session. If you think of questions later, no worries. You can reach our graduate program consultants at 866-988-2874 or send an email to bushschoolonline@tamu.edu. We are open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. So today we're going to cover several topics, including more information about Texas A&M University and the Bush School as a whole, benefits of the Homeland Security Certificate, careers, course options, the application process, cost, and funding your certificate. So we'll go ahead and start with Texas A&M University. For those who are not familiar with us, Texas A&M is a Tier 1 research university. It was the first public university in Texas and one of only 2 flagship universities in the state. We are also one of only a few universities in the country to be designated as a land grant, sea grant, and space grant university. We are one of the nation's 5 largest universities with an enrollment of 73,283 students as of fall 2021.
They not in this shit to win. They got you working overtime and I'm like that. These rules ain't got no damn ambition.
And we have been recognized by Money's Best Public Colleges report, U.S. News and World Report, and the Washington Monthly in a variety of categories, including Best Value Schools. We are accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges.
You think about trying to recruit her again?
The Bush School is an academic college within Texas A&M University. Our vision is to inspire excellence in the noble calling of public service. Our philosophy is based on former President George H.W. Bush's belief that public service is a noble calling. This continues to shape all aspects of our curriculum, research, and student experience. Our Bush School mission is to educate, explore, and engage. The Bush School is ranked in the top 10% of graduate public affairs schools in the nation as of U.S. News and World Report 2021. And our EMPSA program is first in the nation for best value for an executive online MPA. I would now like to welcome Dr. Danny Davis, Director of the Graduate Certificate in Homeland Security, to discuss the program in more detail. Dr. Davis, just let me know when you need your slide changed.
Okay. Well, y'all see on the slide there what we strive to do. Go ahead to the next one, Sarah. Okay, what is Homeland Security? You know, Homeland Security as a concept, I guess, has been around since right after 9/11. You see it here: concerted national effort to safeguard the American people, homeland, the values by countering terrorism and homeland threats, securing the U.S. borders and sovereignty, securing cyberspace and critical infrastructure, preserving the nation's prosperity and economic security, and strengthening preparedness and resilience. You know, back when Homeland Security first cranked up, terrorism was up front. That was the main focus because why? We just had almost 3,000 people killed in terrorist attacks. But always attached to that is the emergency management side of the house. And as we get into the courses that we provide here at the Bush School, you'll see how how we meet that need also. Okay, Sarah. All right. So what will you learn? To me, the third word in that first bullet is the most important thing. The local government. That's who's in charge whenever a disaster happens. That's who most people deal with on a daily basis is the local government, whether it be, first responders, law enforcement, whoever. Then you've got the state and federal jurisdictions. They come in and support the locals. And we go into great detail about how those different jurisdictions, what they're responsible for, and what they're how they interact, how they coordinate with others. The difference between Homeland Defense and Homeland Security, I guarantee you, 85%, if not more, Americans couldn't tell you the difference. It's real simple. Homeland Defense is what the Department of Defense does. They protect against outside threats. Homeland Security, that's what Department of Homeland Security does. More of a, I hate it, kind of more of a law enforcement focus, if you will. But together, DOD and DHS, they both have to coordinate to get and work together to secure our homeland against threats, whether external or internal. We go over laws, policies, regulations that define Homeland Security. Here at the Bush School, that's where we start. It's always law and policy. That's where we begin. Then we get into the operational side of things. Identifying and quantify the threats to the homeland. Identify, study, again, local, state, federal agencies, what they're responsible for. You can see that's listed twice in this slide, and it's there for a reason, because that's what's important. Because if those three, and actually you can throw tribal in there also, if those jurisdictions aren't working together, it's not going to come out well. Protection of 16 critical infrastructure sectors. We go into great detail in that. And of course, border security and maritime security, critically important. And finally, gain insights from experts in the field and other students. And I will tell you, in the online program, whether it be our executive master's degree program or somebody's a certificate program, I learned so much working in the discussion boards, weekly, from people out there like y'all that are actually working in the field at this time, whether it's Texas Military Department, police, fire, somebody working at FEMA. You have all this expertise come together, and everybody really learns a lot from that interaction. Next slide. Okay, target your goals. You can have an emphasis area here. You see them: border security, critical infrastructure protection, emergency management, crisis preparedness, or national security policy and management. So really what you can do is tailor the courses that you want to take to focus on one of those in one of those areas. Next slide. Okay, here are our courses. I think I counted them a while ago. I think I counted 19. Fundamentals of Homeland Security, everybody takes that one. That gives you the basic foundation for everything that you're going to learn, whether you're in the degree program or working on your certificate. From there, emergency management, Homeland Security, that's 604. Homeland Security policy, strategies, operations. The fourth bullet down, cybersecurity policy, issues and operations, a manager's guide. I always tell everybody I'm an old history major, and I designed this course. So believe me, it is not a technical course, because if it was, I couldn't have designed it. It's just what it is. It's a manager or a leader's introduction. It's really more than an introduction though, but it's to the field of cybersecurity. I'd highly encourage every one of you to include that in your program. Cybersecurity touches everything we do. The Internet of Things, constant threats against big companies, against small companies, hacking and so on, whether it be from a disgruntled insider type person, whether it be from a state-sponsored organization, or from just a hacktivist, somebody that's just looking to make money. Cyber touches everything. That's PSA 608. I highly recommend that one. Okay, next is safeguarding the nation's maritime gateways. Just what it is. It talks about maritime security. And then you've got grant and project management. A lot of people who take our classes, as I said, they're working in these fields, So grants are very important. Federal grants, coming to the local or state level is a way that a lot of organizations can fund some of their activities. And then you've got emergencies and security policy, Homeland Security, Homeland Defense. That course is about how the Department of Defense supports Department of Homeland Security, state, and other federal agencies. Then we got protection of nation's critical infrastructure, weapons of mass destruction, just what it says. And then you've got border security policies and strategies and issues. It's focused on the southwest border, the great majority of it, but it also covers the other borders of the United States. Domestic intelligence operations, in downstairs in the International Affairs Department, they have a lot of intelligence courses down there. This is a course, as you can see, domestic intelligence, and obviously the way law enforcement agency goes about working within the confines of the United States, while the techniques, the tradecraft and such, pretty much the same, the laws that govern those operations in the continental United States and against U.S. citizens is quite different than what can be done in Lebanon, the Gaza Strip, and Hamas, Puerto Rico, or wherever. Not Puerto Rico, that's a bad example. How about Ecuador, somewhere like that? So it's domestic intelligence operations as opposed to foreign type operations. Terrorism in today's world is pretty much a survey of terrorism, terrorist groups. Disaster recovery and business continuity, particularly if you're in the, actually we've got a student right now who works for Exxon. He has taken this course in the past because it works on the continuity, the recovery thing. Something bad happens, how do we recover? How do we keep business going? So you might be interested in something like that. Domestic terrorism is just what you see. It's very similar to the Terrorism Today course. Then you've got U.S. law and Homeland Security, again, focused on the domestic scene, and so on and so forth. That's a quick rundown of those courses. I'd be glad to, if anybody has a question, I'd be glad to discuss on an individual basis if you'd like. Next slide, Sarah.
I believe this one is mine.
Sarah, folks, I've got a faculty meeting I'm late to right now that I've got to run to, but Sarah's she'll pass any messages or any questions you got that I could answer. But we appreciate your time today, taking the time to look into the Bush School and our certificate. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Davis, for joining us, and we appreciate your wealth of knowledge that you bring to the program. All right, y'all, if you have any questions for Dr. Davis, please put them in the chat and I will make sure to forward them on to him as soon as the presentation is over. So we'll just go ahead and jump back into what is a graduate certificate. This particular graduate certificate, it's 5 graduate or master's level courses, can be taken online, on campus, or both. The certificate is noted on your Texas A&M transcript after completion. So our online courses are taught by experts in the field with academic credentials. They are asynchronous, so there are no specific meeting days or times. However, there are weekly lectures, reading and writing assignments, and regular deadlines. Regular participation is required to succeed in all Bush School online courses. And as Dr. Davis touched on a little bit, it also helps you network with your classmates and professors. So what are some benefits of a graduate certificate? You can earn a credential in a short amount of time. The average time to completion is approximately 2 to 3 semesters. The certificate is transcript recognized and, as I mentioned, will appear on your Texas A&M University transcript. Up to 12 credit hours or 4 courses may be transferable into another Bush School master's program, such as our online Executive Master of Public Service and Administration. Finally, it allows you to build your Homeland Security network by interacting with faculty, students, and alumni. The certificate can potentially allow you to transition to a new career, advance in your current one, develop a solid Homeland Security framework, and enhance your analytical expertise. So we offer a lot of support services to our certificate students. You have access to our recruitment and advising center via phone or email, or if you're on campus, stop by and say hello to our graduate program consultants in the Allen Building, room 3002. We love visitors. The IT Help Desk offers 24/7 tech support. You also have access to Texas A&M libraries, the Texas A&M Writing Center, Veteran Services, A&M Career Services, alumni networking groups, and more. We also offer events on campus, occasional recorded webinars, and certificate completion ceremony once a year, usually in the spring. So unfortunately, Dr. Davis had to step out. So I'm going to briefly discuss potential careers in Homeland Security. And if you have any more specific questions, again, please put them in the chat and I'll make sure he gets them. So you can go into or advance in a variety of careers potentially with a Homeland Security certificate. As Dr. Davis mentioned, state and local emergency management positions are essential in terms of Homeland Security. Could also potentially go into or advance in federal, state, and local law enforcement positions or public safety positions in general. There's also potentially positions within the Department of Homeland Security, as well as federal and state military positions, such as the National Guard. Finally, there's also the potential to go into NGOs or non-governmental agencies. So who can apply to the graduate certificate in Homeland Security? Anyone with an accredited bachelor's degree. No, there's no particular major that's required. Texas A&M University graduate students can also pursue the certificate concurrently with their master's or PhD program. Additionally, Texas A&M University senior undergraduate students with at least a 3.0 GPA can also apply. In order to apply, we do require an application through the Graduate Cast system, a personal statement, a resume, and official and unofficial transcripts from all four-year universities attended. Great news, there is no GRE or GMAT score required for the certificate in Homeland Security. The application fee is $89 for US citizens and $114 for international applicants. Texas A&M University graduate students and seniors can apply using our internal application. And if this applies to you, please send us an email at bushschoolonline@tamu.edu, and we'll make sure that you get a copy of the internal application. We admit new students in every semester, so fall, spring, and summer. We are currently taking applications for both spring and summer of 2024. The spring deadline is Sunday, December 3rd, 2023, and the summer deadline is Sunday, May 12th, 2024. We encourage everyone to apply early if possible. That way, our student services team can ensure that you are not missing any application materials well in advance of the deadline. If you have any questions while working on your application, please visit our website, give us a call, or send us an email. We're always happy to help. So here's the big question. How much is this going to cost? So cost is based on your residency per Texas law. The Texas resident rate is approximately $2,703 per course, and the out-of-state rate is approximately $4,417 per course. There are potentially other required fees depending on your status. For example, there is a new graduate student fee or the distance education student fees for students in Brazos County and the 7 surrounding counties. We do offer a variety of financial aid opportunities that we encourage all of our students to take advantage of. We always recommend filling out the FAFSA, as our certificates are eligible for federal aid as long as a student is enrolled at least half-time. If you are active duty military or a veteran, we strongly encourage you to reach out to Texas A&M Veteran Services at Aggie One Stop for more information on options that are available to you. There is a Bush School online scholarship for Texas residents, as well as the Texas Aggie Graduate Grant. We'd also encourage you to check out scholarships through Texas A&M as a whole, as well as any professional development organizations that you're a member of and your place of employment. We love hearing from our students and we love hearing from our prospective students. So connect with us. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. And of course, you can reach out to our graduate program consultants Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time at 866-988-2874, or email us at bushschoolonline@tamu.edu. And again, if you're on campus, stop in and visit us. We're in the Allen Building on West Campus, room 3002. And just a reminder, if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat, or you can unmute yourself in just a moment and ask. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope to see your application soon, and we're excited that you're interested in our programs.